These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Green Bay Packers. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. They'll set up to throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, check 26. Here we go. 58.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not. And they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. This is Coleman, and he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They'll be marked inches short, no gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Rodgers with a keeper, and he will push forward and pick up the 1st down. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a 1st down.
Blue 58!
Now this time, Rodgers will throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
319! Hey, check 26!
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
He'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
All right, now, look at 56.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. They'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
First quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. To throw is Rodgers. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Drops it off for Coleman. 7 yards on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. He finds Coleman. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Tevin Coleman hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Crosby on now to kick it away. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And the return will stop right around the 25. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 6 there on first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up. Second and goal from the 1.
Over here.
He's going to get it running right. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Tevin Coleman with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers add on to their lead. Crosby with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Crosby on now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, here's Fournette. And an alley to run. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Fournette, a first down carry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. He sets to fire deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Box it.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down, and that looked like a clear face mask to me. And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
319.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
319.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun?
All right, throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. A handoff to Fournette. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Leonard Fournette, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it third down and 10. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. So a third and 10, and defensively a dime look, 6 DBs. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And now the Packers get set to go. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. That's complete to Meredith. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Rodgers now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Now Rodgers operating from the gun. There it is, caught right at the 10-yard line. And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Rodgers now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Here's Coleman. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Looking to throw on second down. Rodgers. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Rodgers. And this is going to be intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Fournette. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
No, check, Patriot. Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. That's fielded in the end zone. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Hurry up. Hey, we got four down. Check three. Uncle, over here.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Dancing to his left. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 42 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Four down.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Willis, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Rodgers now. From the gun, he'll throw. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. And he'll go down at the 28. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Now Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Crosby puts it through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
We got four down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Well, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is going to be Packer football. Let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game. And all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught them off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's a give to Fournette. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
To throw is Rodgers. Looking to throw on 2nd down. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Coleman now. A gain of 3, second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Not a lot of headway on that carry, but when you're dealing with a defensive line that can cover up your center, sometimes you got to think about getting out of that play. Not going to be a lot of space when that happens.
The Packers on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Working from the gun. Rodgers. Open man right side is St. Brown. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackled by Jordan Willis.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Drops it off for Coleman. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Tevin Coleman with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Crosby on now to kick it away. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Back now at Lambeau. Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Packers. Equanimeous St. Brown, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, Are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Over the middle, complete. It's Rodriguez. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You
Yeah.
see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. He'll drop to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and a mile. They'll look to throw here. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is taken at the 18. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they...
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it a 2nd down. They'll look to throw. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Detroit!
Looking to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is going to be incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. Coleman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davison.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The Packers on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
That's fine. Yeah.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. To throw is Rodgers. Man open, and St. Brown has got it. And he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Rodriguez. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Flushed out right. And this will be incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. On the run, it's Fournette. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Rodgers throwing here. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Right back to him on 1st down. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around with the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They'll toss it to Coleman. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off right around the 43. There he goes, left side. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Now Jones. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. He's going to get it running right. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lead, yeah, a little extra on top.
The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about it.